let's get back to it. Like I said, got a doctor's appointment today. I'm gonna have to cut it off at around 2:30. I'm not sure I'm gonna be able to stream tomorrow. We'll see how things go. We'll definitely be streaming Friday. Boat is working 90%, let's say 90%. One thing that is not working is mount, player animation mount, RPC mount. So that's a server side call. That's why that's not working. Mount. Okay, so we don't need this anymore. I'm gonna just move all of that up there, get rid of that. And we'll do the same over here. Of course we do want... Yeah. Good dreams. Let's see. Target mount. We're doing that here. Maybe we should call mount from the calling mount on the client at player animations. Alright, let's bring that back. And let's go ahead, and this is no longer server. So I'm going to do void command mount. And we can make that a command. And let's see. If is local player, just return, even though it's being sent. You know. We're gonna send command mount here, and we're also going to do this client RPC mount. Here we're going to RPC mount. So this way, locally, we will set our own animation, and we'll send a command to the server to tell all the rest of the copies of us that may exist in the multiverse that they should indeed give us the mount animation. We'll do the same thing down here, like so, with an unmount and an unmount, and we capitalized the M. Don't think that's what I want. And once again, if let's just say is the local player, we'll just go ahead and return. And here we're gonna say command unmount, and we're also going to bring this up here. That should fix our animations being called locally. Was that it? Unmount, mount, good, fine. Speculative, I don't know what that means. Client send not connected. Um, hmm, I think that is correct. We also had the thing where it was command place boat. Can I do like a global cooldown here? What's that kept under? Do I have that listed here anywhere? Global cooldown, player skills. And then where were we? Global cooldown. And this comes from up here. And rather than put it in two places at once, let's just put it here. If player skills dot global cooldown is greater than 0, just return vector 3 world position. Player skills will go to 0.1. Command boat. Claim managers. Add to area spawn. That's fine. We need to remove from the inventory. Remove the boat from the inventory. Player inventory slots. Building data boat inventory slot used. That is not acceptable. Transform aim, and let's do a byte of inventory slot. Like so. And we'll just add that here, byte inventory slot. And we're gonna go like this, inventory slot. Player inventory slot. Yeah, and you need to pass that change. Anyway, inventory slot. What? Command place byte inventory slot. You don't. Did I spell it wrong? What's going on? Inventory slot. Inventory slot. And those calls are being made over here. Using building data dot, there was some kind of slot, building data dot slot, boat inventory slot in use, like so. And we want to convert those to bytes. That's fine. Now we just need to update player inventory slot client dot player inventory dot update inventory slots. We can do a new list of ints including inventory slot, like so, and it should pass the update down, and that should do it. Go ahead and start the server up. What are you kids looking at? Two of you. Start the client up. There's a birdie out there or something? What are you looking at? So now we've got a boat. We can mount it. We're still flapping around crazily. The boat moves. Let's see if we can get off. Can. It's interesting that I spin like that. Why am I doing that? It's not the camera, it's the player object. Kinematic body only supports speculative continuous collision detection. Is that a problem with my rigid body? Is kinematic collision detection. What does it say? Speculative continuous collision detective. Continuous speculative. How's that? No, still freaking out. I'm sure it's just defaulting back to that on itself. Mass equals 0, whatever. Let's go back to normal mode, and my Y rotation is just going nuts. It's interesting. Why would that be? Doesn't do that in single player. Let us see. When we set ourselves to kinematic, we're supposed to just plain stop moving completely, which we're doing here. That includes rotation and positioning, meaning we have to move ourselves. Do have an update. If mounted does not equal null, client position, client yada yada. Client dot transform. I just don't like calling these singletons if I can help it. Client dot transform dot position. We certainly are changing transform. Yeah, that's not what we want. There we go. This should be mounted dot transform dot Euler angles. Mounted player position dot position Euler angles. That's what it is. Client player camera. I guess that's fine. Position plus equals change. And then it wasn't unmounting me when I clicked on it. Server interact with. If mounted, unmount, return. Unmount is just setting mounted to false. We need to do something more like mounted equals false, and we've currently got a mounted client, right? But we're not storing a reference to that particularly. If we get the command to interact with it, we get the client. Client equals null. client.playerMounts mount this, unmount. We're going to want to pass the ID along with that. Uint ID. Mounted becomes false, and we want to do basically the same thing here. Grab the client and player mounts. We want him to unmount, which probably has no call. Public void unmount. Currently we are calling that locally. So we want to have a server side public void, I guess target unmount. And so this is going to be a target RPC, which means it's a specific call to this player only. And then we're going to tell it to unmount. And again, I'm using that capital M. It kind of weirds me out. Unmount. That's one word, right? I'm going to change that. And I'm going to change it. You cannot rename this element. Fine. I'll change it manually. Here we've got unmount. Like so. Command unmounted. Mountable is unmount. Oh, that's going to create a loop unless I go back and I change this to like that. Let's do if not mounted, then you can go ahead and return. ODC says this is a lowercase m on disable if mounted unmount. One more m. This is in the case that we hit interact. We're going to try and unmount. At the same time, it was sending an interact to this guy, which was causing me to immediately remount it, I believe, is what was going on. Let's see if that's still the case. Should fix the spinny spin. No argument. If mounted, unmount. On disable. The only way that's going to get undisabled is if it's going to get destroyed. I don't really need that. But there were other problems as well. Mountable ladder, right. We changed this to be M. Does this work fine? If mounted, unmount. Let's go ahead and make one that doesn't use the same this here. So we've got one that doesn't use an ID. And it just goes ahead and it says mounted as false. No big deal. What else? player mover. Recall. If currently writing and not null, unmount. Currently writing dot unmount. Mounted equals false. Unmount. Yeah. This is... Oh no, yeah, we wanted to change that to target unmount. And then this is a server call. So this one, it's also on the server. Alright. Let's have it call net ID. So if you call recall while you're on a boat, server is going to say, you're no longer on the boat. I'm going to find you. And I'm going to tell you to get off. And that's going to do all of this stuff then locally. We are then going to send back to that we want it to unmount and remove client authority, which is good, fine, well, okay. I think we're safe to go. One more, two more. Oh, yeah, the radial menu stuff. Unmount. This is server side. If server teleport, right. Likewise, net ID of the client if we're trying to teleport while we're still doing it. If someone tries to call stuck, you know, and this really should be a server thing. No, it doesn't need to be a server thing. Chat or console stuck. Position, yeah, because it's just trying to move. If currently writing does not equal null, let's go to client.playerMounts.unmount. And that's client side, and it's going to tell the server that we're doing that. Thank you for the like, Nick. Right. We've also got the radial menu. This is when you shift interact with boat, which we're going to have to test. It's going to attempt to mount button click, but this is a UI component on client side, so we can't do this. Current mount does not equal null. So let's see. Well, we're doing button clicked. Current mount equals null. Interact with facility. So that's the interact in case 1. Case 2 is trying to pick it up, I believe. Let's look. Engage mount. Button 1, button 2 is pickup. In which case we would want you to, if current mount is not equal to null, so we're trying to pick it up. Command attempt to pick up boat is correct. This, however, needs to be plain script control client dot player mounts dot unmount. And again, this is client side, and it's going to tell the server that we're getting off of it. So that should be fine. And I believe we're good to go. World encounter master. Once again, Should only ever be called by the server while going in. I do not believe that is true. Don't think so anymore. I'm just gonna leave that there though. And we're gonna change this to a lowercase m. This is when we are going into a world encounter that includes caves and floating islands. And it's basically a teleport function. There's no way we would be on a boat. I mean, it's possible. It's possible. So we're just saying we don't want to do this. Actually, we want to call player mounts unmount. And that's going to also do that. Okay, so yeah, that should be good. Let's start up the server. Give it a try. I might need another drink here in a minute. I'll start the client up. And wait for the boat to notice that I'm here. There he is. I'm gonna get in him. Cool, I'm not spinning anymore. I can control him. I can go forward. I can go backwards. I can turn to the right. Does shift matter? Shift does not. So now, while I'm looking at him and I hit exit, yeah, see, it ends up just putting me back in there. If I look away and I hit exit, it works fine. Can I pick up the boat? No, I cannot. Cancel that, I'm going to fall off. And I fell off. No reference exception. Player mount 66. Player mounts 66. Mounted dot set mount to false. Yeah, well, I tried to pick up. What are you talking about? I am mounted, and I'm trying to pick up. Well, that worked. But when I'm not mounted, and I try to pick up, we get an error. That's going to come out of the radial menu, and it's calling unmount. If, I guess, unmount. If mounted equals null, then just leave it alone. But that is also calling attempt to pick up. Okay, that should be good. Let's give it a try just to make sure. What else do we need to look at? Blueprint changes to green, but it cannot be placed in deep water. No error message. Ready to resolve this. Fixed boat interaction in multiplayer. Start the server up. Client right behind him. Only 2 cats. That's rare. Tabby went to go find some sunshine, I bet. Alright, here here we are. There should already be a boat here, just waiting for the network check for it to notice that I'm here. There it is. We're trying to pick it up, and that works fine, and it's back in my inventory. I dropped that one on accident. I'm going to place this one here, and I'm gonna pick him back up, and I'm gonna put him back down. I can rotate him. There we go. Okay, now another thing that we kind of do need to test here is I'm going to open up my distance meter, and let's go full screen here. And again, you can't even really see that, but it's just a Unity editor error that pops up there all the time. So I'm going to go due west because I want to cross off of the terrain that I'm currently on, which is like right here, and cross onto the next. What? Something happened. Something happened. I'm now in an invisible boat. And it's a bit of a pain to grab the boats on multiplayer because it thinks I'm super far away. Small boat is back there. Interesting. I'm going to cheat myself back over there. Unpause the server. Unpause myself. And I'm stuck. The boat's still there though. So what I wanted to look at was the boat not actually moving on the server. It might have kind of reached a point where it decided, okay, I need to teleport that back to where it started. We did, however, transfer authority to the player, so I thought that it was going to let us move it freely. Maybe not the case. So let's move a little bit and look and see. Looked like it went right back where it was started on the server. I'm going to pick it up just so I can position it a little better. The one that I dropped seems to have vanished. Now I'm just going to go forward a little bit here, and I'm going to look on the server. Once again, I can't actually see the boat, which is very annoying. But if we click like this, you can see the colliders are still back here. So the boat is not actually letting me... Oh, you know what? I'll bet, yeah, it doesn't have a network transform. So that's fully understandable. We're just going to have to go ahead and add that. It is indeed a moving object. Not my scripts, but the boat itself, I believe, is under facilities. It's a small boat. I now want you, sir, to have a network transform. And let's take a look at that. Compression much, whatever all of that means. Network sync mode, observers only. Much, lots, none. I don't know what that means, but that's fine. Okay, let's try that again. Load the server, reload the prefab here. Give the server a second to get moving. Start the client connecting. So yeah, the question was, is the position and rotation capable of moving from client to server now that authority has been granted to yours truly? Which I believe it should. I mean, that's exactly how the player works. There's a boat. And once again, I'm just going to pick him up. And swimming animation is not working properly, is it? It's interesting. I'd really like to get into fixing the snow, though. We're looking at bugs. Stick to bugs for now. Okay. Gonna move forward a bit. Gonna pause. Gonna go to the server and pause, and let's see. Okay, the boat is now with me properly. Don't think I need to do anything more than that. He's following along. So we'll continue on with our test. Moving west. To the west. Again, I'm just trying to cross this threshold to make sure that server side, the server knows to move it onto the next terrain as is necessary for saved data to work properly. If you can imagine me crossing 20 kilometers in this boat, if it's still bound to the terrain that I started at, then we're going to have a big problem when it tries to load a terrain 20 kilometers away. So let's see if there's some way for us to tell that via the inspector. We didn't get any sort of debugs, though I've done this in single player before. You can see I am no longer attached to this terrain and should instead now be attached to the miscs in this terrain. Correctly so. So let us go ahead and leave as the player. That's going to cause the server to despawn, all of that. I'm going to reconnect, and if it's saved properly, I'll be right near the boat. It probably won't spawn immediately. It takes a couple seconds for it to realize that I'm within its range of, it's like 250 meters or something. And then it'll turn itself on for me across the network. So I'm going to drop into the water and hopefully not be stuck in my swimming. Nope, looks good. And then where's the boat? Did the boat just pop onto my head? There it is. All right, so that's what we want it to do. Loaded up on the proper terrain. Let's just double check that here. We want it on this terrain, and yes it is. All right, So, is there anything else I can break with boats? I don't believe so. Might as well try teleporting. Interesting. That did not work. Good thing we tested it. I could, of course, stand up and do it, but that's not, shouldn't be necessary. Oh, here we go. Formable planner setup. Oh, it's not what we were expecting. What is that? PSH formable resource. Maybe you don't have a farmable. Maybe you should be checking to make sure there is a farmable. Called when loading. Setup. FDH PSH is our stat holder. Yada yada yada. Day visited. If the farmable resources does not equals null. Yeah, but like you don't even know. PSH dot farmable does not equal null. And I mean obviously that's what's going on, right? Null reference exception at 38. Just make sure it's not null before you look at it. Blah 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 blah. It all looks fine. Yes, save. So, but I clicked recall. That's under player mover. I want to go ahead and close some of this stuff that's in the way. Player building, we fixed you, yada yada yada. Player animation. Pearl is opting for the box. There's actually a box inside a box. Very enticing. Let me move that up onto the cat cam. You want to join the cat cam? Happy cam. Let's scoot you over a little bit. Nice kitty. Who bit the box? Somebody bit the box there. Who's been biting the box? Now Pee-Pee's jealous. That is a pretty nice box. Open it up. There's another box inside the box there that he's in. I mean, how could you resist a box inside of a box? I'm thinking player mover. I mean, originally it starts at skills. We've got a special skill for teleport. Skill template teleport. That's not really, I mean, it's the same thing. Engage. Skill name equals recall. Clear player mover recall. That's all it does there. Did I look at that right? Blah, 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 blah. Spend costs. Good. Server recall. Yeah, we're calling the skill on the server. If it is the local player, remove layer. If it's currently writing does not equal null, unmount. Currently writing, unmount. This, of course, the server is not aware of. One moment, please. Sorry about that. Just had a phone call from my doctor's office, making sure that I'm supposed to come today. So currently writing does not equal null. Currently writing, we're probably doing target set. Yeah, so I think we can just go ahead here, and we're already on the player. Just do client dot player mount. This is still server side. Player mounts dot target unmount. Connection to client. But again, he doesn't know that. But if we're not, if mounted is null, it's just going to ignore that. So we're good to just go ahead and do that. If currently writing does not equal null, is anybody setting this anymore? Currently writing player mounts. Currently writing does set that. Unmount net ID. This is server side, but I mean that's probably good for single player. All right. We might want to look at this real quick in single player, but I'm going to double check first. Gonna double check first that we fixed those two things. Get the client started. Let's go ahead and write that down. Fixed it. 2 cats in 1 box? You're crazy. Fixed a possible error with planters. Fixed a possible loading error with, let's say, empty planters. Do I have a boat? No boat? I shall place a boat. I'm going to get in the boat, and then I'm going to try and recall. And it looks like that worked fine this time. And just out of curiosity, you can see the trees in the background there were despawning. Most likely despawned. Well, let's go and look and see. I don't see a boat. That's going to be server side anyway. Let's take a peek. We're back on this terrain. We're looking at its miscellaneous objects. Is that a boat down there? That is a boat right there. Boat's still loaded in, so that's fine. That's kind of really all I wanted to see. I teleported home successfully, and left the boat behind as we would expect. So I'm now going to double check that I didn't break any of that in single player. Sometimes when you change the data flow, you end up messing it up. When the data flow is a little different. To do that, I'm gonna need a boat. I don't think I have a boat. I don't think I have. I got some metal. I got some timber. What to do, what to do. Looks like I can indeed make a woodworking station. What about like a tier 2 woodworking station? I might need that. Not enough resources. Don't have any iron. Okay. Let's put this one down and see if that will let me make a woodworking. I'd like to make a small boat, please. I do have enough. Very good. We are in single player now. I'm going to place a boat right here. I'm going to get in him. I'm going to move him around. I'm going to get out. I'm going to... Oh, that didn't work. Didn't try that in multiplayer either. Player input. What is this? Interact with server facility. That's kind of not really what we're talking about here. Case 1, current mount, interact with facility. Current mount.net ID, that's going to go to here, which is going to go to here. Now we're going to spawn, facility, structure. What line was the actual error? Player input 580. FAQ update client data, yeah, because it's not actually a facility. Why did we do that? Why don't we do interact? Isn't there just like a generic interact with, command interact with? That's what we want to do. It's not a facility. Oh, that's if we're talking about current facility, sorry. If it's current amount, but yeah, here we go. Interact with. Command interact with. I think I'm going to have to make a public void here. Because we're going to be calling that from a radio menu. Doesn't have concept of giving commands. I'm going to need a public void, just your basic interact with uint, we'll just call it ID. You want to fix that for me? Thank you. And we'll go straight to command interact with ID. That should fix that. I want to do interact with, not command. That should fix that. We can double check that really easily. I'm gonna just leave it here and save and return to the main menu. And the editor is set up to immediately send me back into the game to save time. 2 o'clock. I think I'm gonna go till 2:30 today just to make sure that I get there early and all of that. Of course, that doesn't work because we didn't recompile. So let's recompile. And enter boat. Works fine. We can get out. We can even pick it up while we're inside. And it works fine. The swimming animation is not doing what it's supposed to. Hi, Touch Bean. What are you doing? Good kitty. Alright. Do you see the double box? Pee-pee's in the double box. You're not interested in getting in the double box? I know you are. We're treading water. Well, how come there's no... Why is there no back? Swim relay. Of course that's not gonna work until I jump. Interesting. Well, I rebuilt that wrong. Anyway, if I jump it'll fix, and I'll fix it so it doesn't need that. And then I'm gonna place the boat again. And I'm going to, what do we want to do? We want to exit it. Yeah, that still doesn't work. If you click on it while you're in it, you just re-enter it. Even though it says F to exit. Pick up works fine, of course, when we're not in it as well. And likewise, recall while we're still in it. Should leave it behind just fine. And we're still swimming. So let me fix that. That all looks good though. Fixed boat interaction in multiplayer. Yep, that's fine like that. Get to the character animator. And there should be transitions back here. We only go here if we are treading water, which would be true. Which means that we are going to leave if treading water is false. We don't need an exit time. Likewise, this guy is swimming, but if we are no longer swimming, then we want you to go back to the swim relay, which will put you back to wherever you need to be. Fixed that. Fixed swimming animations getting stuck on land until you jump. Boats resolved. Fixed in 0.7.0.15. Who's next? Legendary harvest not being put in inventory or being noted. This is all MP, right? Change title to what? At least the tier 61 my red legendaries are not actually put in my inventory. So far I've not only tried stone and ore. I believe this is only since this patch. They do have some. 1201, my bags are empty. When I noted this, also I noticed that no messages placing how many had harvest, also the stone source just empty. This is affecting at least rare harvest as well. There's what I've seen again, the ore disappeared. I got the clink sound of the pickaxe on ore, but no quality message, nothing added to my inventory. Seems to be also as a recurring aspect of the map harvest update. Some of the nodes on my map are not actually present in the world as far as I can see. This was not the case. Edit 3, oops, maybe duplicate of 75. Which itself seems related to number 60. Sometimes when gatherings are aggressively large number. Yeah. Haven't seen that since. I'll go ahead and leave it open for now though. Legendary harvest not being put in inventory or being noted. I'm leaving this open. open because the chances for discrepancies, I always spell that wrong. How do you spell it? Discrepancies. I'm leaving this open because the chances for discrepancies between the map and the real world may lead to something I need to look at. Though I believe the majority of this is fixed in multiplayer, and as far as the harvesting and rarity discrepancies between server and client, which were fixed in recent patches. I'm just going to leave that there so people know what's going on. And let's keep going down the list. Initial equipment load to fail. Oh, yeah. Armor only visually loads. Yeah, this is not major. This is a minor bug. Stats do adjust. Re-equipping last tool. I mean, it's not major. It's not really minor. Is that... That's not what I wanted to do. Edit. Major goes down to minor. Certainly not trivial. But it is minor. I'm just gonna mark it as minor. In fact, let's do that with, let's sort by priority, please. Please. Legendary harvest not being put in inventory being noted. I'm going to edit this down to minor. Though real. Quits when standing on a hatch or ladder. Received the save file that does this and was able to encounter the same problem, though given the extreme rarity of the problem, I'm not going to go into it just right now. The saves work fine for me now. I sent you the player.dat, which is not actually what stores the player location. That would be the world data file, which I will send to you via Discord right now. Gonna save that and edit this to also be a minor bug. In fact, I'm gonna edit this to be, we'll leave it as minor. Kind of would like some more choices with that. And let's go ahead and just on my other screen here. This weird maybe I have to restart. I'm just gonna, what's his name? Frank, there he is, Frank. So I didn't want to send him, I sent him the player file, but I needed to send him this guy. This is the actual file that you need to fix the save, sorry. That's the 312 world data that stores the player positions. I climbed back up the ladder and am on the platform in that save right now, I believe. Customer support comes with the job of solo developer. Close Discord down, the window anyway. Exception after killing goat. This thing too. What is this? Monster AI. Call RPCs and unlimited vote. Kill the tier 2 goat without exception. It was without exception. I killed it with more shots than one. I mean, I'm gonna mark this as trivial with a comment of, we'll see if it happens again. I think it was a fluke. Check the code. Should be good. Storehouse built yesterday, building gone, all harvesters on existing sites no longer accumulating in storehouses. 1128, resolved. Should all be working now. One small problem not yet patched in that will get in today with 0.7.0.15 resolved. Trader and in generating exceptions. People appear but not building. This is 1126. I can reposition, still errors. I can deconstruct. Unmatched trader and in generates exceptions. People appear but not building. Should be good. Should be all good now. Some upgrade problems being patched in today with 0.7.0.15. The edge of the world. This is obviously multiplayer. Found some kind of a major discrepancy. I love that word all of a sudden for some reason. Discrepancy. I keep saying that. Nothing loading past here. Interesting. 218. I was in tier 43 area, came to a place where only thing visible was elementals, bears, and horse in the seam. World fell away, and I was free falling with no parachute. I used stuck to get down to terrain, and that terrain looked normal. I continued more northeast. Using stuck, I built Solace, teleported my base, sort of back, and the terrain was back to normal. Sounds like a world shift issue. Not to go on. This I don't understand. I saw this earlier. The mouse cursor seems to be invisibly snapping to something when moved at some point or too rapidly. I'm not entirely sure how to force it to happen outside of those criteria. This is almost a month ago. I said live branch, single player happens pretty much all the time when looking around. Don't know what to tell you, former user. I'm just going to go ahead and move this down to trivial, and that we don't know what's going on there. Harvested is white. This should be all good now. Resolved recently. Cloth bags on deck, picking bags up from tombstone. Bags are not even supposed to be working in multiplayer, are they? Totally? Partly? Pick up bag from tombstone. Bags are not able to be opened. After relog, bags are then emptied. The bags can then be loaded up with fresh items. The bulleted list doesn't make a bulleted list. I have to add a new bullet every line. My apologies for that. Yeah, this is multiplayer. Let's check it out. Dying and losing all your bags. That doesn't sound fun. So we're gonna start up, not client, start the host, faking it as a server. Nope. This guy we're gonna load up as client as normal. While he's loading, I'm gonna get a drink. Oh, kitties all came to the sunshine, huh? Nice day, huh? How you doing there, nice kittens? Can you see the cat in the box? There is a cat in the box. I should tilt that up a little bit. What's going on? I'm drowning. Oh my god. Good place to test. Yeah, that animation stuff is now working. It seems like it's positioning really funny though. The Y offset got messed up or something. Whatever. So we're a multiplayer client. I don't have any bags, and it's damn near impossible to. Oh no, I'm only level 0. So I'm gonna take my armor off. I've only got 15 health. I'm gonna do some cheats here real quick. Make it daytime. Go give myself a bag. And in my little bag, nope, I'm gonna put, nope, yeah. I thought the bags just didn't even work. Oh, you just can't put that in a bag, okay. So yeah, look, I got some stone, I got some water, globes. Cool. And other stuff. Well, let me put a crate in a bag. That's no silly. Let me look at that. Resources, item templates. Crate box. Can be stacked. Cannot be stored. Not sure why it let me do that, but I'll look at that in a minute. I'm naked. Save me. Chicken doesn't want to fight. What is that, a deer? It's a goat. Goat doesn't want to fight. Where's a monster when you need one? There's a monster. Hey, buddy. Is that all you got? Bring it on. This guy's gonna kill me just down the way. Should drop all of this stuff. All this stuff. Oh, I was about to die of hunger anyway. That's down by the water. Following the nice little lamp posts. I'm gonna go ahead and just walk down there. And just another 15 minutes here. Gotta get to the doctor's. I've been having trouble swallowing food, believe it or not. And I went to a bunch of throat doctors, and I've actually been going to throat doctors for like 3 years. Because I do have really big tonsils. They've always told me that. And I do. It's kind of weird when I swallow a little bit, but that's not what's going on lately. It's like the swallow movement doesn't get going. It's really weird. And I went to like my 4th doctor, and he went straight for the camera. And he looked all inside, and he said, "No, you look super healthy. If you're having trouble swallowing, that probably means that you're just stressed out." Where's this guy going? What is he doing there? What is going on there? I would like to look at that. Navigation. Yeah, there's plenty space for him to navigate straight for me. Was he running home? Oh, that was the guy that killed me probably, wasn't it? They get disabled when they go out of range until you get close enough to him. Anyway, so they gave me some drug that it's like a autonomic nerve hypnotic. Fuck if I know what that means, but it's like the autonomic nerves control all your like subconscious stuff, like breathing and heart rate, and I guess swallowing is kind of a part of that. You know, it's not something you're really supposed to do consciously. Not this time, buddy. And just gonna teleport home so I don't have to run out here again. And the first time I took the drug, the next day, it was totally just fixed. It was great. There, my bag is full of stuff. I don't know what to tell you. But 11:12. The bags can then be looted up with fresh items. But so over time, the medicine has just kind of stopped working, or whatever you want to call it. Yeah, cannot reproduce that. So I'm having trouble swallowing, so I'm actually going to a mental doctor, which is weird for me because I consider myself pretty mentally sound. I'm not a shy person, as maybe you guessed. I'm a pretty quick decision maker. I'm not easily afraid. I don't ever feel like I'm like, oh god, I'm stressed, what am I gonna do? I don't get depressed, but I don't know, something about my body is stressed out or something. So I've got my Blu-ray glasses I've been wearing here now. See if that helps, but hopefully the Japanese do kind of give out like minimum doses, even like ibuprofen and stuff. Sometimes just the stuff you buy over the counter in America is like 2 or 3 times the dose. So, and I have kind of a history of being strong with, you know, like you go to the dentist and they give you a shot, and then you're like, nope, still feel it. And they're like, oh, okay, well, and they give you another shot. And you're like, nope, still feel. And they're like, oh, really? Sister and I both had that. Kind of a strong resistance to painkillers, I guess. So maybe I'm not responding to the drug as well, but kind of want to just ask what the deal is, you know. Is there something more I should be doing that I'm not, or you know, I think I eat healthy, live with a bunch of cats, I sleep pretty good. I don't know. Cannot replicate. Well, let's be nice though. Let's try that again in a different fashion. I don't think that tombstone was ever saved. That's probably a whole other story. You get killed out in the wild, you get sent back to the start or wherever your home is assigned, and then the server despawns your tombstone until you come back. Let's just go out to some random base. Oh, could have done without the swamp. Yeah, I don't like the swamps. Too hard to find stuff out here. What is this? Solace number 4. More swamp. I don't see any bad guys right here. Come on, Solace. Where are you at? Too much swamp. Let's go to plains. There we go. There's a mine right out front of the plains. Okay, I'm gonna go let this guy kill me, which means I'm gonna need to take my armor off again. Come at me, bro. Oh, that hurt. And now I'm gonna go, well, let's just wait half a second for the server to despawn all of that stuff. It's probably already done. Yes, it is. Now I'm gonna go back. That was Mines Plain. I dropped all of that, so I'm actually, this is a dangerous job. I gotta go get this without that guy seeing me. And I really just need the bag. Is he hitting me? You piece of... Well, it'll get a double test. Dirty little monster. these on. Grab the rest of these and put them on as well. Alright, I should be well armored now. That'll despawn that, and that'll despawn that. Question being, can I open the bag? No, I cannot. So the problem arrives when the tombstone is saved. That's gonna happen in, or when it despawns rather. Let's just follow the route. Follow the data. Player combat. Death. Player death. Add death marker. Start coroutine die. Where is drop tombstone? I'm gonna close this boat stuff up. Server side, we're going to drop the tombstone. We're going to get the interactable tombstone with it, add the name, give it a time, grab the facility, facility slot type. I'm going to grab, what did I pass him? This is inventory, so I'm just going to take everything out of my inventory slot. Copy as new slot dot item equals inventory dot copy as new. Treating it as an item, which worked fine so long as it didn't get saved. New slot dot item equals copy as new. Now, if it is a container, same story. It's just an override. It's still going to copy it as new. It's going to take all of its stuff with it. Collider, blah, blah, blah. Procedure watcher, add area spawn, network spawn go, update inventory slots, add item drop. That's all good and well. Add misc. If we are not in a world encounter, chunk manager, add item drop facility. Add item drop. Is that enough? Add item drop. Terrain save file. Add item drop. Misc data holder. Add misc. Facility. It is a facility. It's going to create a new misc facility data with that. It's not a resource scanner. It is an interactable tombstone. If it's an item drop, which it's not, it's an interactable tombstone. It gets all of that, blah, blah, blah. Facility datas. But where do we get the misc facility data? Where are we getting the slots? Here we go. If it's a resource scanner, which it's not, add facility slots, misc facility data, facility slots, add, copy as new. And that should be good. This is just a list of inventory slots. Now, an inventory slot is serializable. It's got an item. That item can also be a container, because that's what containers are. They're items. Guess the problem might come about. It's 2:30. Well, let's just write this down and come back to it. Tombstones saved in multiplayer. And this might be in single player as well. We'll give that a try. Tombstones saved with bags seem to reload with their bags unusable /empty. Yeah. All right. Well, I'm going to sign off for today. I put the camera up so I'd sit upright, and I'm not doing it. But gotta hit up the doctor. Probably gonna get a haircut. Some of this, some of that. Probably get some more of this going later on. Probably won't stream it though. We'll see. And again, I'm not positive that I'm going to be able to stream tomorrow. If not, I will be on Friday. So, in any case, thanks for watching. Please leave a follow. Working towards that 50 follower count that I need for Twitch affiliate status, which unlocks fancy stuff.